Hello and welcome to NDTV Profit. You're watching IPO and my guest today is from Vishal Mega Mart. It's one of the large IPOs which is coming out on December 11th. 8,000 crores is the IPO coming via OFS. The company IPO, as I said, opens on December 11th and closes on December 13th. Price between 74 to 78 rupees per share, and the company's market value is nearly 35,000 crores at the upper end of the price band. And joining me is Mr. Gunender Kapur, who is the MD and CEO of the company. Mr. Kapur, thank you very much for joining us on NDTV Profit. To begin with, sir, it's an OFS of 8,000 odd crores. You don't need any growth capital, or you have enough cash in books to take care of the expansions?
Sajid, we have enough cash on our books to take care of all our expansion needs. We are a profitable business. We generate free cash every year. So that is totally well taken care of.
You give us a sense of the business that you do, because you mainly cater to the mid and lower income groups through your supermarts. Give us an idea of which are the regions where you do it, and what is the kind of average order value that you sell in these cities.
So we are a pan-India operation. We have registered a revenue of 8,900 crores last year, with 626 odd stores present in 403 cities across the country. Brief glimpse at our financials will show that we registered a same-store sales growth of 13.6% last year. Our EBITDA margin was 14% and our PAT margin was 5.8%. Our revenue typically grows at a CAGR of 26 odd percent, EBITDA at 25%, and a PAT at 50.9%. Our return on capital employed, Sajid, last year was 71 odd percent, and we have generated free cash of close to 29 billion rupees, which is approximately 3,000 crore rupees in the period FY22 to Q1 25. The mission and the goal of the business is to make the aspirations of the middle and the lower middle income group India affordable through our fashion-led hypermarket format. As you know, now the internet penetration in India is close to 1 billion people. Because of this, people are seeing basically the same content all over the country, and therefore there is a convergence of aspirations which is happening amongst the less and more affluent. Our role quite clearly is to make the aspirations of the middle and the lower middle income group India affordable. We do it in 3 categories: clothing, general merchandise, and FMCG. The unique feature about our business is that of our total revenue, about 72 to 74% comes from our own private brands, which have been developed specifically by us, targeted at middle and lower middle income group India to make their aspirations.
Mr. Kapur, top 3 states for you is UP, Haryana, Assam and Karnataka. Can you give us a profile of the customers in these states, and what is the kind of average order value which is coming in there? And when you say that contribution of own brands is around 72 to 74%, what is the kind of margin profile that you have for these brands?
So Sajid, we are present in 30 states and union territories right now. Depending on when we launched Vishal in that state, the presence in some states is deeper than the other states, but we are present nonetheless. Except for 4 states in India, now we are totally pan-India. I must further add that in all the states, these ones and others, our business continues to grow at double-digit same-store sales growth across clothing, general merchandise, and FMCG, all 3. Our customers in these states and indeed the other states are middle and lower middle income group India, as I mentioned earlier. Our private brand portfolio is 72 to 74%, as you correctly mentioned. Typically, our margin in private brands is higher than the margin that we have on third-party brands. And further, the contribution of private brands to our total business will continue to grow in the future also.
Is there a plan to expand the average order size by bringing in more branded products to the stores, or the store will always be focusing on private brands largely because of the kind of strata that you are catering to?
No, we will have both third-party brands and private brands in our portfolio. And the categories within the three large businesses that we have will also continue to expand. It is a very dynamic market, and as I mentioned earlier, our job is to make the aspirations of people affordable. And the aspirations are very dynamic. They are constantly changing and evolving, and we keep a track of the aspirations of our customers and are continuously introducing new categories in our stores within the broad three businesses that we have, which is clothing, general merchandise, and FMCG. I can just give you a recent example. We have just launched air fryers in our store under our own private brand. We are in the process of launching beard trimmers in our store. The aspirations are growing and changing almost every week of the year, and we will respond to them with speed.
What about pricing pressure? Because given the fact that you are catering to lower and middle income category, is it easier to push through pricing or whenever there's a raw material price increase that happens?
So whenever there is a significant inflationary pressure, we actually go to our customers and check with them as to how much of the pricing pressure they are feeling in all their overall consumption basket. As you would know, the middle and the low middle income group, India, while they have a certain level of income level, the discretionary part of their income is still very small. And therefore, if we feel that the customers are indeed feeling uh, significantly higher inflationary pressure than normal, then we would think twice before taking a price increase.
Mhm. Um, is there a lumpiness in your revenues as well, being that Q3 and Q4 being a higher revenue quarter as compared to uh, the Q1 and Q2, and so the margins might be much higher in the Q3 and Q4 quarter?
Indeed, Q3 is our biggest quarter, and it is everyone's biggest quarter because of the fact that we have all the festivals in India concentrated in that quarter. So typically, you Diwali, Dashera, Puja in the east. But it is not that lumpy also. So, for example, quarter three accounts for 30% of our annual revenue.
Mhm. Why I was saying that was, I was looking at your inventory days, and it has come down at the end of September. And normally, we see retail outlets, stocking up inventories towards the end of September because you have October, November, December as a festive month, so the inventory goes up. Uh, is there a reason why inventory days have gone down, especially in April? And what we hear from the street is that this year April sales have been much lower in the festive season. Did you see such a trend happening in the market as well?
So firstly, I must clarify that I'm not exactly aware of the number, but nonetheless, I would submit to you that this year one of the big clothing festivals in East, which is the Puja festival, uh, to the best of my memory, just now got over in September, and the bulk of the festival buying got over in September. And then the next festival is Diwali, which is been, I think, 3 or 4 weeks after the Puja festival. So it's a very dynamic inventory management process in our company. We obviously want to bring the inventory as close to the as we can to ensure that while we capture 100% of the festive opportunity, but we keep our inventory days totally under control. So there is no particular reason other than trying to sync our inventory with the timing of the festival.
Mr. Kapoor, give us a given the kind of the mix that you have, apparel of 47% of your revenues, FMCG and GM or general merchandise at 27.5% of your revenues. Do you think this mix will continue as it is, or are you going to see some of the general merchandise or FMCG going up as you get into more private label products?
So this has been a mix right from the beginning, Sajid, and our view is that this will remain unchanged in the future as well. Of course, there will be a little bit of ups and downs in each of these categories in different years. Sajid, I think we have now run out of time.
Yeah, I have one more final question before we end it. Uh, you have roughly 645 stores at the end of September. What is the kind of expansion plan that you have for the next 1 year or so?
So we are now targeting to open 80 to 100 new stores every year going ahead. It all depends, of course, on the availability of great properties, but that's our goal.
And finally, the promoter, which is Kedara Capital, it's offloading his shares. Will it bring down his share further going forward?
I'm not exactly aware, and neither are they at this moment. I would just like to assure you that the promoters of the company have a long-term interest in this business. They're very excited about the future of this company and would continue to stay as promoters for a long time. Thank you very much,
Mr.
Sajid.
Kapoor, it was a
Very
pleasure talking to you today. Thank you very much for joining us on NDTV Profit. Your IPO is opening on December 11th, closes on 13th. Price between 74 to 78 rupees per share. It's an OFS for 8,000 crores, which values the company at little over 35,000 crores at the upper end of the price band. Thank you for watching NDTV Profit.